Welcome to this Executive Explainer. Today, we're completely deconstructing a massive structural shift. We're talking about taking legacy IT, which, let's be honest, is often viewed as this heavy, dreaded cost center, and transforming it into a dynamic, predictive engine for business agility. We're going to dive right in, because for enterprise leadership today, the stakes of holding on to the past have literally never been higher. I want you to really stop and think about this for a second. For decades, we built these rigid, monolithic fortresses to store our data and mapped out our systems. But in today's insanely volatile business landscape, maintaining a static infrastructure map is a huge strategic liability. I mean, you can't navigate a rapidly changing market with a map that was drawn yesterday, right? So, to guide you through this shift, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the legacy monolith, move into the autonomous layer, explore predictive impact and agility, discuss the architect's evolution, and finally, we'll break down the ROI of alignment. Okay, Section 1, the legacy monolith. Let's start by looking at the immense pressure that's basically fracturing our traditional manual architecture models right now. The core issue we're facing today isn't a lack of architectural knowledge. Actually, scratch that. It's a critical failure in scalability. Enterprise complexity, whether we're talking about unmanaged cloud sprawl, API proliferation, or just massive SaaS fragmentation, it's simply growing way faster than any human team can sustainably manage using manual inventories and backward-looking assessments. The contrast here is pretty stark. In the old world, enterprise architecture is completely reactive and manual. We've all seen it. Teams basically spending their lives in the misery of updating endless spreadsheets after a change has already broken something. But in the new world, AI makes architecture proactive, connected, and completely outcome-driven. We are effectively moving away from retroactive paperwork and stepping into proactive intelligence. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the autonomous layer. This is the core paradigm shift. It's about treating AI not just as some localized generative novelty tool, but as the actual neural fabric of your enterprise. We call this continuous architectural intelligence, and it's absolutely crucial to understand that AI is not here to replace your human architects. No way. Instead, it acts as a massive force multiplier for enterprise understanding. You want to think of this capability like a high-speed digital dashboard that sits above your entire business, seamlessly orchestrating your multi-cloud environment and mapping relationships in real time. And this dashboard operates on a continuous 6-step intelligence loop. It ingests data across the enterprise, understands the structures, analyzes patterns, predicts the impact of changes, and recommends solutions, all before you even execute. Just like an autonomous vehicle constantly adjusting to traffic, this loop works quietly in the background, upgrading your operating model from manual observation to automated, real-time insight. Let's move to Section 3, predictive impact and agility. So, what does this intelligence actually do for your business? Well, by shifting from static inventories to dynamic intelligence, we drastically reduce the operational risks during digital transformations. Imagine this scenario in your cloud environment. You need to deprecate a legacy API to launch a new digital product. In the old model, finding every downstream system that relies on that API would literally take weeks of manual tracing. And let's be honest, you'd probably still miss something and cause an outage. But with continuous dependency discovery and predictive impact analysis, leaders can instantly simulate that scenario. The AI maps the relationships dynamically and predicts exactly what will break before you write a single line of code. That is what true business agility looks like. And because of this incredible automation, the crushing weight of those reactive tasks, it's just gone. Your architects are no longer spending their valuable hours validating spreadsheets or manually tracing dependencies across siloed systems. This fundamentally changes the very nature of the architecture discipline within your enterprise, completely freeing them up to focus on strategic planning and driving real measurable business value. Next up, Section 4, the architect's evolution. As our technology evolves from reactive to proactive, the human capital directing it has to evolve too. We have to completely disrupt this outdated assumption that enterprise architects just sit around producing diagrams. It's like a giant iceberg. The diagrams and review boards, those are just the visible tip. The real value, the heavy lifting, is in business alignment, navigating trade-off decisions, stakeholder management, risk mitigation, and guiding massive transformations. The architect's true job is to make all that complexity actionable for you, the executive. So by delegating all that manual tracing and documentation down to the AI layer, the architect is instantly elevated. Their mandate completely shifts. They transition from being purely technical modelers into high-level strategic advisors. Now they're spending their time evaluating strategic trade-offs, governing major enterprise investment decisions, and optimizing the transformation roadmaps that dictate the future of your company. To leverage AI effectively, your team has to undergo this critical evolution, moving from a technical expert who is hyper-focused on systems upward to an enterprise strategic leader focused on business value. The mindset has to shift to impact over tasks and business over technology. Your architects must develop serious financial acumen and the ability to influence investment decisions without authority, directly at the executive level. Finally, Section 5, the ROI of alignment. To secure all these massive advantages, we have to anchor this transformation in cold, hard operational metrics. But first, a really critical warning here. AI is not some magic wand that fixes poor fundamentals. You absolutely cannot optimize a fractured system. If you lack trusted enterprise data, metadata discipline, and clear ownership, deploying AI is just going to accelerate your inconsistency at machine speed. Establishing clear, rigorous governance structures is the absolute non-negotiable prerequisite for achieving any real operational ROI. But when it is properly cultivated with strong fundamentals, the returns are phenomenal. Take a look at recent enterprise transformation data. When organizations synchronize their IT and business strategies through dynamic architecture, they achieve an astonishing 82% strategy alignment. We have literally seen complex global enterprises go from totally fragmented roadmaps to ensuring that the vast majority of their tech portfolio is measurably driving their top-level goals. And that deep alignment directly translates into a 74% documented decision rate. That means no more shadow IT, no more untraceable ad hoc choices being made in silos. Instead, you get a highly transparent AI-augmented ledger of exactly why architectural decisions were made and how they map directly to your enterprise policies and standards. Ultimately, what does this all mean for the bottom line? Well, this highly coordinated predictive capability drives serious operational efficiency, guaranteeing a 69% on-time delivery reliability rate. Because you are proactively simulating impact and continuously mapping dependencies, your transformation projects simply don't hit those unexpected roadblocks. They deploy on time and they generate value significantly faster. Which brings us to the vital takeaway of our explainer today. Transforming your tech stack with AI is not just an IT initiative that you can simply delegate to an engineering team and forget about. It is ultimately a test of executive leadership. It's a rigorous management discipline that is absolutely required to ensure every single layer of your enterprise is aligned and moving with agility. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. The business landscape of the future is not going to be defined by who owns the best static diagrams or the most complex spreadsheets. It's going to be fiercely defined by who commands the best, most dynamic architecture intelligence capability. So, as you evaluate your strategic posture today, you have to ask yourself, is your organization prepared to command this level of intelligence, or are you still relying on yesterday's map? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.